Hey, yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Los. Stopped at the ATM, get a little bit of bread. Going to see Black Panther in a second, and so I'm hyped. Everybody's been talking about online. I've been avoiding posts all day and part of last night. I don't want to hear nobody's viewpoint on it but my own, and so I'm so I'm gonna check it out, and when I get back, I'm gonna holler at y'all, let you know what I think about it. I will say this, and this isn't racism or stereotypical things or like that, but if you are black or consider yourself black and you don't bring food, your own food, into this show, I question your blackness. I'm gonna be straight with you, be honest with you, I question your blackness. Funny enough, right? So I am going to a black movie with a chicken and shrimp quesadilla, and I'm okay with that. Got the rice and the beans, and I'm okay with that. I don't think any less of my blackness by me doing this. So yeah, there will be pictures. Actually, the next slide you see will be a picture of my food, of me in the theater, about to grub and get busy with it. And I'm okay with that. Judge if you want to. I really don't care. Yeah. All right, so see you in a second. All right. All right, so as promised, it is the day after seeing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Man, where to start? Just leaving the gym, so excuse how I may sound. Great workout today. All right, so man, where to start? As I said in read in the thumbnail, this will be a spoiler-free, no spoiler review. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna do my best not to spoil any of the movie for you guys. And I say that, man, because this was, and I don't say this loosely, this was probably my favorite Marvel movie ever. It's right up in the lines of, the first Iron Man for me. It's definitely, and this is no shade to the first one, but definitely better than the first Black Panther. First Black Panther was phenomenal. This here took Black Panther and Marvel in general to a whole new height for me. This was what made this dope to me. Was there was a beautiful marriage of humor, drama, and action, where the humor wasn't Thor Ragnarok or the last Thor Love and Thunder, where so many jokes is there and you don't take it serious. But then again, it wasn't so serious like a normal DC movie. That's no shade to DC. Like a normal DC movie where everything is so serious and so dark and so it wasn't so much that, and the action wasn't like Michael Bay over the top explosions everywhere and everybody get nah. It was enough of each. All three played their part at the right time in this movie. Now I'm gonna be straight with you about something. Just to be honest with you, I don't care how much of a thug you are. You may have shot 10 people this morning on the way, or whenever you watch this, on the way to the theater. I would strongly suggest you bring a box of tissues, or at least a handkerchief or something. Just a slick, just you be on some, or okay, and then keep moving life. You know what I'm saying? I'm there, sir. I really think you should bring something, or just maybe a slip like that and keep moving. It's a tearjerker, man. They did a phenomenal job of saying goodbye to Mr. Boswick. Hope I'm saying that right. Did a phenomenal job of saying goodbye to him, not just him as a character, but him as a man. They did a beautiful job of talking about his disease, where it's not really clearly said what he died from. We just know that, I can't give it away, but just know that he died, and they did a beautiful job of covering him and his family, actual real family, in this movie. I'm talking from the beginning to the end. It was a beautiful tribute. Beautiful tribute. Man, the colors are so beautiful. The clothes looks so warm and cozy, man. Like you're sitting there watching the people and they're talking and how they're dressing, and you're just kind of like, man, I want that outfit, man. Like for real, like it would be so cool to walk around in something like that, man. Like, and I think you should if you can. I just overall think this was just a great movie, man. Like there is humor, like I said, but one thing I love is wasn't like the classic, comic relief guy or gal. It was just as the movie went on, and just certain actions in the movie just needed a little humor to it, and they gave you it. It wasn't, the over the top one person who is, the corny, goofy person. Nah, this was as the movie went on, as scenes progressed, just certain things were said or certain things were done that made you chuckle. And it wasn't, that's something, think about now, there wasn't an over top laugh. Like he wasn't like, yo, nah, it was just like, okay. And then you go on type laugh. Because it didn't take away. Like, you know how some movies, you watch a movie where the joke was so funny that you laugh so hard that you miss the next line. And that always sucks for me. But they didn't have that in this. So it's like you laughed, yes, and you cheered, yes, but it wasn't so much that you missed any part of the movie. Man, just a great movie, man. Man, yo, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if you know, I can't tell you that. There's so much I can't tell you, because I promise you, if I say any piece, you're going to understand. It's gonna unravel, and it's be like, oh, okay. Real quick, I will say this: whatever you think is gonna happen, erase that. Whatever you saw in the trailers, it's gonna be, erase that. Because majority of what you think is gonna happen is not gonna happen. What you think you saw in the trailer is not in the movie. Just being honest with you, Marvel is the master at redirection, and so they'll tell you X, Y, and Z, or they'll show you X, Y, and Z, and then you see it's like, yo, that's not what I saw or what I thought, man. And what you actually see is actually more beautiful than what you thought it was going to be. Man, that rhymed. But nah, it's just, hold on one second. Side note, why does Chick-fil-A people walk up to your car away from the menu? Does everybody have the menu memorized? I do not. And now she's walking next to me as I'm driving slowly to the menu, and we're just going to keep on driving till we get to the menu. I don't know what's on the menu. I don't eat it every day. Stop that. Just stop. Watch. What? You can't even see her. I'm not even going to disrespect to put her on the screen, but we're just walking. And now we about to look at the menu. You see her. All right, so like I said, yeah, you will definitely be shocked and surprised by this movie. Man, I cannot brag on how perfect in a lot of ways this movie was. It wasn't 100% perfect, but it was close. It was a good 97, 98% perfect. As for, like I said, just the dialogue, even the story made sense. And then, as always, the Easter eggs of other further Marvel movies coming that they threw in, how they did it. I am a fan, and not just, I want to be clear, right? I'm not a fan like, oh, I'm black, it's about blackness, so let's be, nah. It's just as a human, as a person, but just as a movie, as a consumer who enjoys movies, it was just complete. From when I tell you, from the opening credit to the end credit. Speaking of which, there is a mid-end credit scene, but there is no end credit scene. So after that mid-credit, after this juggernaut of a bomb is dropped on you, after that happens, you can pretty much leave. It's over. Only thing you'll see at the end is Black Panther will return. Whatever. That's it. But from the opening scene to the end credit, it is beautifully done. And one thing he did, Ryan, the director, did something that I just really thought was really cool. And I don't think it's new, but it was just clever how he did it. Where there's a lot of one camera scenes where the camera just followed that one person around, and then when the next person to talk, it just went right to that person. Not a lot of cuts, not a lot of clicks. Just especially when we're doing the dialogue part, where some serious conversation is happening, and there's a lot of just right in the face. I mean, the camera was like almost eyebrow eyebrow distance from the person's face, and you got to see the facial reaction. Angela Bassett, hands down, high five, ma'am. Man, she did her, boy, she did it. She represented. If she don't get them for this, boy, it's rigged. Man, she was real with it. I loved her part in this movie. I loved how she was powerful. She was strong. Reminded me of my mom, yo. Like, I sat there like, I gotta call my mom. Like, for real. Like, she is strong in this movie. She is powerful. She is not a force to be played with. She's smart, and she's the queen. and so she is, man, she did a good job. And Sherry did a great job, man. I loved how strong she was in this. So many. Here's the thing, right? I have, this is me personal. I'm gonna kind of take a sidebar from this. I know a lot of people don't like the whole girl power thing and women rising up thing. That's cool. Me personally, I feel like it's whatever. But for me, I love seeing strong women, not just strong black women, but strong women. But I love seeing me some strong black women. Can't front with you on that. High five, black women. Hi. But I love seeing strong black women, and the strong black women in this movie here. Even Neymar's people, you know what I'm saying? So the strong, I forgot already what they were called. Sorry, I'll put it right here, or you can just remember. But they were strong in how they respected who they respected, and how, well, I can't tell you, but they believed in what they believed in. And it's funny, right? The reasoning for what we are seeing makes sense. If we're being honest, regardless of what side you're on, the reasoning for what we're seeing makes sense. You kind of like, yeah, I get that. And you're kind of like, I don't know really. It's like we watching Civil War with Iron Man and Captain America. You're kind of like, both of y'all really make perfect sense. Like, both of you are really kind of saying the same thing, just differently. And that's how I felt watching this. Like, I understand both sides, because both sides did a beautiful job of explaining who they are and why they are who they are. And it was just real, man. I loved how real it was. One thing I'm not gonna do, and this is probably the only major knock against this movie, is my kids can't watch it. Way too much cursing, way too much cursing, and I don't mean like rated R cursing, like not the F bomb's not getting dropped, the S bomb gets dropped, the A bomb gets dropped, but I think it's just, and many would say those are soft, curse words. It's the frequency of them. They're said, enough in the movie to make me say, nah, I'm cool. My kids will pick up on that fast. There's other, like She-Hulk, for instance. There were a couple curse words here and there, but they were said so fast or so, in such a way where my kids didn't grasp it, which I didn't think they did, but they actually finally heard a couple of them. But for the most part, this was just too much, and I just like, yo, and I'm a little mad about that, because I really wanted my girls to watch this, but yeah, they can't watch this, and that's a knock I have against this movie. Probably the only. The CGI was great. A couple scenes where you're like, I can see that, but for the most part, overall, man, just done beautifully. And yeah, man, like, I want to watch it again, not to nitpick on things or not to try to find whatever, but just to enjoy the moments. Such a enjoyable movie, such a speechless movie. I haven't been to a movie in a while where at the end I wanted to stand up and clap, and I promise you, I probably could have started it, but if one person would have stood up and just clapped, I guarantee you the entire theater would have clapped, because it was that good of a movie. That good of a movie, man. Like I said, I love that fact that both parties are being represented beautifully and properly. And yeah, it was good, man. They did an amazing job. But I'm gonna keep saying, I know I'm rambling at this point, and forgive me, but I want to really just drive this home. Like, there was no, and this will be a spoiler, I guess. There was no cheesy CGI, T'Challa scene. You know what I'm saying? There was no him walking into the great beyond saying bye. There was none of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about seeing that. I think that would have just been like, fam, really? But there was none of that. There's no time was wasted in this movie. No time in this movie was just taken for granted. Every line was important. Every scene was important. And they did it. Oh, another thing. Did a great job of building up a backstory, which also so I'm gonna give it away. I'm trying not to, which also makes you say, okay, I can see why we're here, because the backstory is so beautiful. Now, granted, there's a disconnect from the comic book on in the movie on the relationship between the two. I can say that there's a disconnect there, and there's also almost a new connect, but that gets destroyed quickly. But as you're watching, you're thinking, are they gonna? You know what I'm saying? Like you're sitting there thinking, wait, are they about to? But then that gets taken away. But man, yeah, it's yeah, man. I don't know the actor who played Namor, but I think he did a phenomenal job, man. He did that well. And his whole squad was real. My goodness, there's this one dude on his team. Man, that dude was real life, man. It was real life, man. And of course, the women, man, man. I've been here, I forgot how long, because I've started the video over many times. I could just sit here with my head on my hand, just be quiet about the rest of this movie. Great movie, man. Great movie. I definitely recommend this. And I meant what I said. I think I was the only one, so I kind of looking down at everybody, and I didn't really care. If you don't take no food into this movie, man, I question you as a black person, as a person in general, really, and being honest. But man, that quesadilla was real life. It was chicken and shrimp with mozzarella cheese. Boy, they did it, boy. Matter of fact, what time is it? I might do that again. Anyways, let me get off this thing, man. Please go and support this movie. It's like, so the first one. Sorry. The first one, I think, blew up. It was good. The first one was really good. I really, really enjoyed the first one. But I think the first one blew up the way it did because it was cool seeing black representation in a positive, not just a slave or, a crackhead or drug dealer or gangbanger. It was beautiful seeing black representation over the screen. And so we ran to the theaters for that. This one here, I'm sure many will still run to the theaters for that reason there. But I believe more so this is going to do well in the box office because of how good it is. How good it's written. Or how well it's written. It's written. The action scenes, the colors. Man, there is so much I want to say, but I promise you, the moment I pull on that thread, it will unravel it all. And you'll just be like, man, I don't want to spoil it. It is almost 3 hours long. Like this review, it is almost 3 hours long, and so I would suggest using the bathroom before you go, because I promise you, it's not the kind of movie where you want to, go to the bathroom and then come back and be like, what I missed, because the person sitting next to you is gonna be like, I can't talk to you right now. Yeah. Okay, last thing, and I really mean that. Visualize a time when you've eaten something really good, like, I don't know if it's Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner or whatever you've eaten, right? And there's no music playing, no one's talking, but you're just like, you just bob your head because it's so good. It tastes so good. That's this movie. Go support, enjoy it. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to hear y'all's comments and views and thoughts on the movie. Leave it wherever you see this or however you see it. Please leave me a comment. Man, all right, y'all. I'm gonna stop. All right, Grace.